name is Neil Bacon, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And we are up to way number 26. Way 26 of the 48 Ways to Wisdom. We are plowing through the second half of the 48 Ways to Wisdom. What are the 48 Ways to Wisdom? These are 48 ways, life attitudes, essentially. You don't, mostly, you don't need any, like, strong theological beliefs, I would say, to enact any of them. But if you do them, if you adopt these attitudes, you make yourself more powerful, right? It makes yourself you have more potential. You can do more stuff and more successful. The 48 Ways to Wisdom are 48 ways to acquire greatness, which is how they were described. So where they come from, it's it's from a codification of Jewish law from about 2,000 years ago, called the Mishnah. Most of them are about, very dry legal stuff, yeah. But this one's all about good advice. So the tractate's called Ethics of Our Fathers. The Mishnah in it, which is the thing it says, these are the 48 ways to acquire greatness, and they're like one or two word things each. So this was massively expanded upon by Rabbi Noach Weinberg, or blessed memory, my rabbi, the Rosh Hashiva of Aish Torah. This was one of his cornerstone things. He was great. This was like his go-to thing. So we study a way a day in this time of year, called the Omer, which is full of like spiritual potential, to make ourselves into better people, right? So we're at way 26. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. And if you want to be super nice, go check out my Indiegogo over here. Two incredibly good graphic novels. Link is in the video description. Thank you very much. Fine, so let's open up this one. So way 26 is called Know Your Place. That doesn't sound so much fun, does it? Know your place, laddie. So the Hebrew for this is Hamakeh et Makoma. So Hamakeh means recognize, et Makoma, Makom is your place. So recognize what your place is. So this means a couple of things, really. The first one is you have to know who you are, right? You have to understand who you are to what your place is. So there's an idea in Jewish philosophy of something called a yayud. That's saying that it's a particular light of a particular great thing that only you can do. That only you have the life experience and the knowledge, and you're in the right space and the right time to do. So that's called your yid, right? So that's the first thing about knowing your place. You got to know what your yid is. Now your yid can change. Your yid can change as you move through life. As your life circumstances change, and as your abilities change, and as you acquire more abilities. So for me, it's easier to work out because I believe in God. So my everything is like thinking, what does God want out of me? Like, what's my basic go-to way of looking at life is, what is my next step that God wants me to take, right? And again, if you're not religious, it's gonna sound crazy, right? But but by doing that, to answer that question, I think, well, what can I do? What is it that I can do that other people can't? Well, I know about comic books. I know about Doctor Who. I have an eclectic mix of stuff. But basically that you have to look at your talents, look at your abilities, and look at what your life mission is, right? And that way you can work out your year. It's probably worth like doing a annual review of like who you are once a year. I do it in the month before the Jewish New Year, called Elul, and it takes some time. You have to each day sit and think about it. If you can take 5 minutes a day and sit and write things out, that's really helpful. That is really, really, really helpful to working out what your year is. There's also a thing called a tikkun. Tikkun is what your biggest challenge is. And again, it's much more unique for you, for who you are. So yid and tikkun, but knowing your place is one thing, is knowing your yid. So the other thing about knowing your place is knowing what your position is, where you stand, right? And Rabbi Weinberg used to have a thing saying you need to have 5-finger clarity. Now, what does that mean? 5-finger clarity. So there are 3 ways you can think anything is real. You've probably heard me say this lots of times before. The 3 ways you think anything is real. You can have faith, you can have knowledge, and you can have belief. So faith is when you don't really have any evidence, or maybe even have contradictory evidence, but you believe it anyway. That's faith. Believe me, I've seen some people make some weird leaps of faith before. It's very, very strange. So you have faith. You have knowledge. Knowledge is something that you may have circumstantial evidence for. For example, in the Middle Ages, people used to think the sun would rotate around the Earth rather than vice versa, because that's what it looked like, and he had reasonable evidence to support it. But it wasn't true. But that's belief. And a lot of time people forget and mix up what their beliefs for knowledge, right? You got to, and that's why you got to be careful. So, what's knowledge? Knowledge is something that you have, very, very strong evidence to believe. You have is five-finger clarity. Five-finger clarity is you look at your hand, and four fingers and a thumb, but you used to call it five-finger, and with incredible clarity that's you have those five fingers because you see it firsthand, right? So that's what's having five-finger clarity. So that's what you need to have clarity on positions on pretty much anything. So if you do that, which I do, you get very dogmatic. This is the drawback, right? You get very, very dogmatic and closed-minded. So that's something you really got to watch out for. It's something that I watch out for. And even so, I'm still very, very it's what I believe is what I believe. Blah, what I think is what I think. Why? Because I take the time to think what I think. I think that maybe the 2020 election wasn't quite as kosher as CNN does, right? I think it might not have been, because I took the time to think about it, right? I have very strong opinions on most things. Why? Because I take the time to think it through and look at the evidence. That's the other thing. Try and look at evidence impartially. And then that will help you know your place. So it's basically about self-knowledge. Once you know yourself, know who you are and what you want to be in the world, and then you can know what your position is, what your position you take on things, and you research things properly, and you find out more. So there you go. So know your place. Let's see if there's anything in the bullet points that we like about this. In the presence of somebody who's more knowledgeable, think twice before speaking. This is good advice. No, it doesn't really tie into my look at it, but this is good advice, which I don't follow. By understanding others, we can see what we know and what we don't know. I would say more about understanding yourself, but you understand yourself by understanding others, I think. Don't be afraid to ask others for advice. Listen, finding your place does mean you're going to have to need to talk to other people. If you don't take control of your life, you're being manipulated by others. That is so 2021, isn't it? That's the other thing. I don't like to be controlled by other people. I like to have my own mind. So knowing your place is very, very good for it. If the moment calls for it, take the lead. Very good advice. I don't really understand why this is a thing, because me, it's just sure, but most people are kind of scared of doing that. I'm like, why am I leading everybody all the time? I can pare back on that. You are created to fill a unique role in life. I really fundamentally believe that. And I think that role changes as we move through life. Try and work out what your place is and know it. Know it with clarity. That is number, 26. 26 on the 48 Ways to Wisdom. Join me tomorrow. I'm going to hit 27. And 27 is actually a really, really, really good one that can bring you much happiness. My name is Eli Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have yourselves a fantastic day.